And good evening, everybody, and welcome to Hawk Talk. We're here from 6 to 7 every Monday night, located here at the C.H. Craft Kitchen at the Hilton Garden Inn in Indiana. Good to have you along. Hawk Talk, Coach Paul Tortorella with me. We have a special guest coming along as we talk IUP football. We also let you know that you can go on our Facebook page at WCCS Facebook page. You can go on U92, our website. Look for Hawk Talk, go to the link, and you can pick up our live video as well as the audio on U92radio.com. Well, it was a tough Saturday for IUP. California comes away with a win, 38-34 in the last 11 seconds or so, and you just have to move on. And I wrote down some notes how things change, not only in life with adversity, and you have to move on, but in the sports world too. And so we go from euphoria in one Saturday to kind of disbelief in the next Saturday. Right. But again, you got to keep going, and here we go. It's a rebound attack.
Well, yeah, you had a great win the week before. You had a really tough loss, obviously, this Saturday. Some things happened late in the game Saturday that were, unfortunately put us in bad situations. Mm-hmm. Obviously, the punt block and not making a first down and not stopping them. And there's a lot of different things. There's probably 7 or 8 plays you can look at during the game, and if you just make one of them, whether you're on offense, defense, or special teams, you're going to win the game. But we didn't. And what it boils down to is that, it's my responsibility as the head football coach to come out of there with the win, and we didn't do it, so it's on me. I know Matt sent me something Sunday saying, you were 32-0 going into the fourth quarter when you had the lead. And, obviously there's a first time for everything, unfortunately. And we, didn't do the things that you need to do at the end of a football game to win a game. We took a couple things for granted. Unfortunate situation with an injury, having to put a guy in on the punt team that really hadn't repped a whole lot at that position. And, we just didn't get the job done. And like I said, I've been in this game a long time. When something like that happens, it's on the head coach.
Is it easier for players and young people to be more resilient than those of us who have been around for a while, and the fans and the coaches, I would think, too? But in other words, do they bounce back quicker?
Yeah, they do. They do. We were talking, Mike Campola, myself, and Smitty were talking. We think our kids take the losses harder than we do, and the players. Just our own kids, because they're around the program so much. But kids are young. You're dealing with 18 to 22-year-old kids, and whether you like it or not, sometimes things happen that you wish wouldn't happen, and you try to cover every situation that you can, and we let a couple things slip away late in the game that ended up costing us the game. And again, like I said, that's up to me to make sure that doesn't happen, and I didn't do that.
Well, you had a good first half, and you were rolling. It's 23-10 at the half. And I don't know that you think at any time that, wow, this thing's in the bag. Nobody thinks that earlier. So you had to have a good feeling going in after the first half.
Oh, yeah, we had a great feeling going in. We had all the momentum at the end of the first half. There were really, I think, 3 plays that really hurt us in the game. Obviously, the drop touchdown early in the second half that would have put up by 3 scores, just because of momentum. That would have really drained Cal. And I'll tell you what, you got to give Cal credit. They didn't quit. We stemmed the tide there and went up 31-17 after we faked the punt and faked the extra point. And those kind of plays usually deflate teams. And, we're up 14 to start the fourth quarter, and they made a lot of plays in the fourth quarter, on both sides of the ball and in the kicking game where a team not as good as them might have shut it down. After the way we got the 2-touchdown lead at the beginning of the fourth quarter would deflate most teams, if you're not a really good team. So, part of the credit goes to Cal, for fight until the end and making the plays at the end. And, obviously with 5 minutes to go in the game, when you're winning by 10 points, you think you're going to win the game, and it wasn't to be.
Yeah. We're going to be back in a moment with Coach Paul Tortorella. We have any questions from those in the audience? We have put out slips of paper they can get to us, or online you can, get your information to us, a comment or a question, and we'll have it for you. It's Hawk Talk. We're with Coach Paul Tortorella. We'll be here till 7 o'clock at the CH Kraft Fields Kitchen at the Hilton Garden Inn. And we'll be back right after we take this time out on U92.5 and U92Radio.com.
Kenly Insurance is a family-owned and operated insurance broker located in downtown Indiana at 689 Philadelphia Street.
Hi, my name is Nicole Kenly, a licensed insurance agent with 15 years of experience in the industry. We offer many solutions such as home, auto, renters, life, flood, and many more specialty products.
Hi, my name is Sam Kenly. We are a partner with over 30 A-rated companies such as Progressive, Travelers, Allstate, MetLife, and Nationwide, just to name a few.
Please call 724-216-0972 for your free insurance review.
Hey everyone, this is Ryan at Four Wheeling for Less, your local ATV and side-by-side dealership. We specialize in buying, selling, and servicing all major makes and models. In our sales department, we offer financing, warranties, and purchase appraisals. Our service department will keep you up and running for your next adventure, and our parts and accessories department can help you find whatever you're looking for. So whether you're looking to buy, sell, trade, or get service work done, visit our website, give us a call, or stop by today.
This is the voice of the IUP Crimson Hawks, Jack Benedict, inviting you to follow the Hawks home and away on U92.5 FM and at U92Radio.com. Start your Saturday game day with another Indiana County tradition, the Luther Ford High School Coaches Corner Show, every Saturday morning on WDAD AM 1450, 100.3 FM, and on the Trib Live High School Sports Network. Since 1969, Luther Ford's High School Coaches Corner, every Saturday from 8 to 10 on WDAD.
Hi, this is Zach, and welcome to Gingerbread Man Running Company, proudly located in the heart of Indiana on Philadelphia Street since 2009. We offer the top models from the best brands of running and walking shoes. Stop in today for your free gait analysis from our expertly trained staff. We are happy to help solve any foot or shoe issue you may have. Please visit our website for more information. Gingerbread Man Running. Catch us if you can.
Welcome back to Hawk Talk. This is Jack Benedict along with Coach Paul Tortorella. We're here till 7 o'clock as we talk IUP football, trying to, of course, review, or we are reviewing the 38-34 loss to California and what's ahead with Edinboro this coming week. Tort, there was a situation there with, it was really strange. I don't know, many of us said we've never seen a safety call come away that it did. So explain exactly, if you can, what happened, the so-called, or the interference that was called in the end zone. Of course, there was targeting called, and then they had to review. Your perspective of what the heck actually went down.
Well, at first we thought it might have been interference. Then we thought it might have been a block in the back after Cal intercepted the pass. It was a targeting call, and it happened in the end zone, so that declares it a safety. Okay, that's the first thing. Then the second thing, it was just getting better and better. They were kicking off from the 10-yard line instead of the 20-yard line, because then that's a penalty that's got to go it's a safety, and then the penalty makes it go half the distance to the goal line. So as things were going on, it was even getting better and better for us. I was like kind of just standing there kind of amazed at the whole thing, and I saw Coach Dunn, obviously not real happy, because I've been doing this a long time. I've never seen that play. I've never seen a targeting in the end zone. I've never seen a safety in regards that there was a penalty that would make you have to kick off from the 10-yard line also. So I was just, I really didn't, and it was great because it gave us obviously 2 points, and we got the ball back after we threw an interception. Now, they had a great kickoff, and then we got a penalty on the kickoff return. So instead of getting the ball at like the 45, I believe, we started on our own 20, and we ended up scoring a touchdown, and what it did is it drained the clock for the whole first half. So, like, from that point till the end of the first half, you couldn't have asked for anything better.
Anything better, no.
I believe it was about a 6-minute span, and Cal got the ball back with 30 seconds to go in the half, and then they decided to take a knee. So we went into the locker room up 13, and we knew we were getting the second half kickoff also. So it was very unfortunate for them. And then after they reviewed it, it wasn't targeting. So, fortunate for us, kind of an unfortunate thing for Cal. And again, you got to give them credit. They recovered from that also. That could have been like a 9-point swing when you look at it, and they didn't get the ball the rest of the half after that.
You mentioned about the touchdown. We have a replay on that put the game up 23-10, Harry Woodbury to Irv Charles. And we have, here's the play right here. Irv is something else in the end zone, and any way you look at it, he just took it away from that guy and hit it beautifully, and it's 23-10, and you're rolling along. But, at first we thought, well, they can't take the 2 points away on the safety, can they?
Right.
Because there was so much of a deliberation. They went under the stands to
right.
convert.
Well, I knew that they would review it at halftime, but there was a problem, and it took longer, and we kind of stood around for 10, 15 minutes before we were out there waiting, but something was wrong with the video, I guess, and, I wouldn't have wanted the guy to have to stay out of the game if it wasn't targeting, so I had no problem with them letting number 47 or 40, whichever guy it was, I don't even know, come back into the game.
I think it was 40.
40, and they're both good players, 40 and 47 linebackers for them, so that wasn't fair that the guy got thrown out of the game and it wasn't targeting, so that was a fair thing to do, but they weren't taking the 2 points away, and it really was an unfortunate thing for Cal to have to recover from, to be honest.
Yeah. When you come to think of it all, we've talked about all the things that went against them, including you run out of, the short punt formation with Cam Suman and everything that went along. But let's take a look a little bit at the second half. So after halftime is over, did Cal make any major adjustments in the second half?
Not really. They kept doing what they do on defense. Offensively, they just had the ball more because they didn't have the ball a whole lot. We played pretty good defense in the first half. They scored after we fumbled, so they had a short field when Harry got sacked. We fumbled, they recovered it, and they scored on third down from our 9-yard line. But other than that, they hit a pass play. I think they had 100 yards in the first half. They hit a pass play early that led to a field goal. And then we had a great chance to stop them after the turnover, and they converted to 3rd and 9 on the 9-yard line. So we played a pretty good first half defensively. Our problem this year defensively has been in the second half. It hasn't been. If you look at our first half defense against Shepherd, against Kutztown, against Slippery Rock, against Cal, we've played pretty good defense in the first half. Our problems are coming in the second half. Teams are throwing the ball more, getting the ball more in the second half. We're probably wore down a little bit because we're not real deep. We're young. Physically and mentally, it might be taking its toll on our guys by the time they're in there. Our whole secondary played like 66 plays, and 3 of them are freshmen. Mm-hmm. Our defensive end, who's a freshman, played 56 plays. And then, maybe we have to play, even though we don't have a lot of depth, maybe we've got to play more players in the second half. I don't think it's really like adjustments and schemes more than it is, maybe we got to play more players. Mm-hmm. But I thought the second, which you were leading to, momentum was shifting. When it was 23-10, we talked at halftime, let's just not let them get the momentum back. They kind of got the momentum back when we didn't score the touchdown. Then they scored, and now it's 23-17. Mm-hmm. And then they stopped us on third down. So we had the ball on our own 38-yard line. They had the momentum, so we went with the fake punt. And it drew up and worked to a T. So we got the momentum back, and that's what we needed. And then the quarter ended, but we scored, I think, on the first or second play of the fourth quarter to go back up. And then we faked the extra point because we were at 12 points, 13, 12, not big of a difference. You want to get it to 14, but we felt good about this fake field goal extra point that we had. Mm-hmm. I mean, you come to practice. You saw us working on it.
Yep.
And we figured, you know what, we might have a better chance of making this for the 2 points than actually going for 2 points. And we made that. So at this point, we have all the momentum, and like, again, I got to give Cal credit. I mean, they had everything go against them for 3 quarters.
Yeah,
they got a
right.
fake punt against them, a fake extra point. They got a bad call in the end zone that probably ended up costing them 9 points, and we just couldn't put them away.
Yeah, you have to give credit where credit is due, and they remain undefeated. Just want to remind folks listening or watching here, if you're a listener or a viewer, if you have a question, you can send it on our Facebook page. You can email it to sports@wccsradio.com. We have a question here from one of our fans in the audience here. Any thought, Coach, of going for it on 4th down rather than punt? And does the punter have the option to call a timeout if they don't like the situation?
Absolutely, and we had one. The play was to punt the ball. I mean, we wouldn't have used up much clock running a play, and we would have gave them the ball on, we were on the 37. We could have tried to go for it. We would have probably thrown the ball, to try to make the first down, because they were playing the run heavy. Our deal was we were going to make them use their timeouts. We were going to run the ball 3 times. If we made a first down, the game's over. If we don't, we're going to punt from their 37-yard line and probably pin them inside the 20, or even if we kick it out of the end zone. They've got 30 seconds with no timeouts left to go at least 50, 55 yards to have a field goal attempt. So something really crazy would have had to happen. But unfortunately, the crazy thing was the block. Something did happen. It was the block punt. And it was just a mix-up in communication. A guy, blew an assignment. It wasn't the punter. At first, I thought the punter took an overly long time because we talked about just catch it and get it off, and he wasn't. It wasn't like it was overly amount of time to get the punt off. We blew the protection, and the guy happened to just get a piece of it.
And there were almost 3 guys in there.
Yeah, but the only guy. Actually, the 2 other guys, if they would have attempted to block it, if they wouldn't have got it, they would have probably roughed the punter. Because they were so deep and behind them, they couldn't have blocked it. The guy that could block it stuck his opposite hand on, because we did get a little bit of piece of him, and he blocked it with his outside hand, one hand, instead of his inside hand. So, it was a great play on their guy's part, and it's obviously, we didn't protect it and we didn't execute it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Another question here. This comes from one of our fans here who hails from Franklin, PA. Why does the secondary unit and the players why do the secondary unit and players try to rev up the crowd while on the field when they need to be focused on the next play? Mm-hmm. Sideline players, cheerleaders should handle that situation.
Yeah, I mean, there's something to that. But you don't want to take the spirit away. I mean, if it's not taking them away from their focus, our mistakes in the secondary Saturday had nothing to do with mentally and focus. They were physical mistakes, and we got beat 1-on-1 3 times. Their guy was better than ours.
That happens.
That's what happens sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
We won a lot of one-on-one battles on offense against their. They were bringing a lot of pressure, and we won a bunch of one-on-one battles, obviously, against their defensive backs, and unfortunately, they won 3 of them against our defensive backs. One on a 50, 40-some yard touchdown where we had a chance to intercept the ball, and we just didn't play it right, and they made the play, we didn't. So in answering the question, I don't really think that had a whole lot to do with our effectiveness,
Yeah. This comes from Jake from Facebook. Hometown is Evansburg. Wouldn't it have been better to not be conservative in the series before the block punt? Mm-hmm. Trust your senior quarterback to make a play, pick up a first down, end the game, go from there.
Absolutely. Well, we thought about it. Our best players are our 2 wideouts, and you could put it in their hands, but in reality, if you told me we're going to punt the ball to them and they're going to get the ball with 30 seconds on their 20-yard line with no timeouts, I'll take that every time. The series before, when we were down there, we tried to score a touchdown. We ended up settling for the field goal to go up 2 scores, but we weren't conservative on that series at all. We tried to score touchdowns. We had a guy wide open on a corner route, and the quarterback got flushed, so we very easily could have went up 14 instead of 10. So we weren't conservative, when we kicked the field goal.
Right.
We threw the ball twice. You could say, well, you know what? Why didn't you run it there? We'd have probably used another minute of the clock, or they would have had to use their 2 timeouts, and they might not even been able to get the ball back. So there's 2 series there you can look at. And one of them we didn't play conservative, and we still got the field goal. The other one we played conservative, and we got the punt blocked. But, we could have done it the other way, and then you got to worry about the onside. I mean, we recovered the onside kick.
That's
you tell me
another
we're going to
thing.
recover the onside kick, fake a punt, fake a an extra point, kick the field goal to go up 2 scores with 5 minutes to go, have the ball on the plus 37-yard line, 4th and 4, and all you got to do is get the punt off. I would like our chances.
And what happened?
Happens.
Yeah.
And that's football. I mean, you watch football games every Saturday, and unfortunately, you don't want to be on the losing end of those things.
Not at all. Hawk Talk here with Coach Paul Tortorella. This, let's see what we have here. Coach, have we ever had a wide receiver as good as Irv Charles?
I mean, we've had a ton of great receivers. I mean, I've been here since 1995, so there's a whole litany of them. But for size and in regards to a one-on-one matchup, I would say no. You can't, and teams are finding it out, and they're still doing it. You can't cover him with one guy. You just can't. He makes all the hard catches. Unfortunately, and he's the first one to admit it, he's dropped 2 touchdowns that were easy. He made 3 catches Saturday that were contested. He's made catches with 2 guys all over him. I mean, he makes all the hard catches, and you cannot cover him with one guy.
Well, to his credit, too, we've talked about this before. I mean, here's a young guy that could have been out of here because he waited all this time. We didn't know
Absolutely.
COVID was going to come around either. And he waited all this time to play, and fortunately for IUP and everybody else.
And every game that he does drop a touchdown, he recovers from it.
He recovers.
It's slippery rock. The first pass of the game, he dropped, and he ends up scoring 3 touchdowns after that.
Yeah.
So he was able to shake it off. Then Saturday he dropped, the one pass, but then later in the game he makes an acrobatic catch down the sideline that was 10 times harder than the touchdown that he dropped.
We have on the other side, with Dwayne Brown, all-purpose player and great player that he is. Would you like to get him the ball even more if you can?
They were, and they were actually taking their turns of who they were doubling. You can't double them both. On the series before we kicked the field goal, we took our shot, it was 3rd and 8, and we talked about, well, should we just run the ball to the middle of the field and set up the field goal? And we decided, let's take a shot with Dwayne one-on-one on 3rd and 8 and see if we can score a touchdown, and if it's incomplete, we'll kick the field goal. And Harry just didn't give him a chance to make the play, just kind of underthrew it, and the defender made a really good play. But if Harry would have laid it out more towards the sideline and threw the ball a little deeper, I think Dwayne would have won that battle like he has in the past. He just didn't give him a chance to make the play, and their defender made a nice play. See, a lot of those great catches that Dwayne and Irvin make, a big part of it is how the quarterback throws the ball. And the throw that he made at the beginning of the second half that Irvin didn't catch may be the best pass he's thrown all year. And he made some mistakes. We had the tight end running free down the middle of the field wide open, and he hurried it and didn't get his feet set, and he overthrew him.
That was my next question. You can just visualize that over the middle with Grant.
The play before we tried to hit Dwayne, we had Q Carter on a corner wide open. They blew the coverage, and he got flushed because there was a little bit of pressure. If he would have just hung in the pocket one more second, he could have laid that up. I mean, so you could, like I have, stay up at night, not sleep, going back through 4 or 5 plays on defense, 4 or 5 plays on offense, 2 or 3 plays on the special team. And if you just make one of them, you're probably going to win the game.
Mm-hmm.
But, that's football. That's football.
Yeah, you just never know what's going to happen, and Edinboro will be next. Well, we're going to continue here with Hawk Talk. We have a special guest. One of our assistant coaches will be along with us, and if you have any questions, you can continue to have them come our way. We'd be glad to answer those. Give us a shot, okay? We're with Coach Paul Tortorella. It's Hawk Talk, coming your way on U92.5, U92Radio.com, Facebook page, WCCSradio.com, and we'll be back right after this timeout.
The Co-op store has the largest selection of IUP gifts and apparel. The Co-op is always there with its convenient location and hours. The Co-op store has been serving IUP and the Indiana community since 1933, and all profits are returned to the students through campus programs and activities. The Co-op has all your campus needs from the dorm to the classroom. Visit us online at www.iupstore.com.
Kenly Insurance is a family-owned and operated insurance broker located in downtown Indiana at 689 Philadelphia Street.
Hi, my name is Nicole Kenly, a licensed insurance agent with 15 years of experience in the industry. We offer many solutions such as home, auto, renters, life, flood, and many more specialty products.
Hi, my name is Sam Kenly. We are a partner with over 30 A-rated companies such as Progressive, Travelers, Allstate, MetLife, and Nationwide, just to name a few.
Please call 724-216-0972 for your free insurance review.
I'm with the voice of the IUP Crimson Hawks, Jack Benedict. And Jack, finally, you will be back in the booth broadcasting the Hawks. How good does that feel?
Mark, I'll tell you what, I can't wait. It is about time that I get back there.
And we'd like to invite your business to join our Hawks Booster Club.
That's right, back the best, the IUP Crimson Hawks, and help us sponsor the games for thousands of listeners on air and online. Check out the
Craft Kitchens here at the Hilton Garden Inn. This is Jack Benedict with Hawk Talk with Coach Paul Tortorella and our special guest. We do this each and every week. Coach has brought in another coach, and we're glad to see that Jalen Hairston is with us right now. Coach, good to have you with us. He's bringing you into action. There we go. Turn your mic, and now you can hear me okay? All right, very good. Let's talk about yourself. This is your first year at IUP, and your background and how you eventually got to IUP.
So I played collegiately.
For some reason, I'm not getting your mic. Well, let's see. It's probably not. Try it now. There we go.
There you go.
Yeah, they switch things on me on the back, Yes, I have to learn how to run these buttons after 60 years. Your background and how eventually you got to IUP.
So I played collegiately at the University of Charleston for 5 years. Ended up grad transferring to Concord University. After that brief stint of my grad last semester, I got into coaching right after. I just knew it was something I always wanted to do, had a love for. From there, I was there for probably about a month and a half, and then my alma mater called me back home at the University of Charleston. So I got there, and then we played in the spring season where I met Coach Barker, who was a coach here, really good guy.
Luke Barker.
Yep. So from that point forward, me and him kind of started talking ball, and he kind of showed me the ropes, and then I was blessed to have an opening here, and kind of things fell together, and I ended up getting an interview and ended up being blessed enough to get the job. So
some people know what they want to do early in life and others don't, but you pretty much had an idea this is what you want to do, huh?
Yes, sir. From even being a kid, I always knew I had a calling to be a coach because playing the game and loving it. I wasn't always the most athletic guy, but just having a knack and wanting to grow as a player and understand the reasoning for why, I knew it was something I always wanted to do.
Coach and I have seen a lot of games over the years, so maybe you haven't seen as many, but I can't imagine anybody getting an experience like the last 2 weeks. I don't know, how do you, we say players bounce back, how do coaches bounce back?
That's a tough one because, like I said, that they don't happen a lot, games like that with that magnitude. But it's just trying to strive each and every day to just surpass and learn from the mistakes you made, but at the same time not harp on them. Especially when we tell our players we got to practice what we preach. So just handling adversity when it comes and get ready for your next test.
Yeah. Tort, what sold you on this fellow?
Well, he was highly recommended by Luke Barker, first thing. Then the second thing, it's interesting, we were supposed to have a Zoom interview with him, and, because he's down in Charleston. Well, I didn't realize this, but he was visiting friends in Akron, and we're getting ready to do the Zoom interview, and one of the other coaches says, Jalen's here. And I said, what? They said, oh, he's here. And he had a sport coat and tie on. And I said, well, if I'd known you were coming, I would have told you definitely didn't have to dress up like that around us. That was the first thing. But I was glad he came in person. So what that told me is, like, this guy wants to be here. And then, we talked football for about an hour. And both Coach Smith and myself, that's all we needed. I mean, the guy's very sharp, understands the game, and we had heard he's great with the players. We didn't know that until he got here, and he is great with the players, and he's, willing and able to learn and grow. And that's one of the things we've done here at IUP is grow coaches. When you think about all the younger coaches that have been here and where they're at now, myself and Smitty and Campy, and the big guy was really big on that, is, mentoring coaches and getting them to the point where when they do leave here, they're ready to go somewhere if they want to, or they continue to stay here and which is fine. And, so, I mean, it was a no-brainer, really.
So I'm sure that you probably along the way heard about other coaches who have been here at IUP, right?
Yes, sir.
And Charleston, everybody knows about everybody in the region, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that tell us exactly what your responsibilities are, because coaches don't do just one thing. I know that.
So I'm the linebackers coach. I also run the kickoff unit. Other than that, just monitor student athletes and the development of academics. Helps Coach Smitty with that. But other than that, that's about it.
Well, that's enough. But linebackers, we had two guys who were here as 4-year linebackers, in Lloyd and Amendola. So you had, you've had to develop some other guys. Kelly has been around some, but first year here at IUP. Then, of course, with Malachi, his first year here, Biss, a young guy coming in. You had to mesh these guys. You guys kind of all learned together, didn't you?
Absolutely. And those guys, they're bought in, and I tell them all the time, it's a two-way street. I'm teaching you, you're teaching me. We're all in this together. So, feedback's always good both ways.
Being that you were at the University of Charleston and the PSAC nearby, and we talk about all the regional teams, what about the talent? Are you surprised or not by the talent in the conference itself?
Oh, the conference is crazy. Every week's a test, and the talent from top to bottom, especially inside with the offensive lineman, the defensive lineman. Dudes just move different up here. They play more with the chip on their shoulder. Ball means a lot to guys here. You don't have to coach effort. That's the thing that jumped out to me from being here.
Give me your perspective, a scouting report on the team we're playing this week on Edinboro.
They play hard. They have a couple things. They had a couple adversity set on with the team. But, Coach North, I know he's been here, and I've heard nothing but good things about him. He has a hard-fought team, and they're disciplined, and they're going to throw the kitchen sink at us. And we know that. So we're just preparing for the test at hand.
Yeah, Coach Jake Nolf, who was here briefly. Right. You're talking about coaches who come and move quickly. And that's right. Fortunately, he got the job.
Yeah, he was our secondary coach for 1 year, did a great job in 19. Great coach. Have a lot of respect for him. He's done a great job there at Edinboro. They've lost 3 close games they very easily could have won. They had a problem with COVID. They lost their first game at Grand Valley. They've had some adversities that they've had to deal with in that way. Problem with the starting quarterback. I think he dismissed them. And he's starting a new program. He's starting, and he's kind of bringing the guys in the way he wants them. They're very disciplined. They play extremely hard. They're very well coached. They've got really good schemes, and they're very young. And I think they'll be an up-and-coming team here in the future, but they'll come in here with a chip on their shoulder ready to play Saturday. You can bet on that.
Jalen, the players that you coach and you're specifically dealing with, how have they responded in the last few days after that tough loss to Cal? Probably better than the rest of us have.
Yeah, they're guys that they always want to know the reason why. They're not just satisfied with knowing their job and their responsibility. So that game Saturday is just a test to them because, there was a lot of adversity and we ended up on the wrong end of it. But, they came in and they wanted to watch the tape and get better and learn the reasoning for the circumstances that happened, and so it don't happen again. So,
well, I know you have some young people there that you're dealing with on the defensive side, and we talk about the inexperience. Fortunately, we had spring ball this year. I mean, last year, I don't know, what did you do last year?
In the spring, we actually had a spring season.
Yeah, you had the spring season,
yes,
but last year was a lost year for all of us. No football anywhere for us. It's good to be playing, that's for sure.
100%.
Yeah. Well, listen, thanks for stopping by. I'm glad the coach brought you along, and have our listeners and our viewers get introduced to you as one of the new coaches here. And let me ask you one other thing. Not all coaches maybe want to be head coaches. But I kind of get the idea in listening to you that someday you want to be in his spot. Is that right?
Yeah, we all have our dreams and aspirations. I'm just taking it one day at a time, and I'm blessed to be here with Coach Tort and Coach Smitty because these guys got a lot of experience. They've seen a lot of ball, and every day I'm learning something new. And hopefully it helps me reach my goals and my aspirations later in my professional endeavor. So.
Well, we can have you as the head coach, and you can bring somebody in. How would that be? Okay, that'll work well. Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it a lot. All right, that's Coach Jalen Harrison. We're glad to have him along here on Hawk Talk, and we'll be back with more Coach Tortorella and more IUP football talk after we take a time out on U92.5 and U92Radio.com.
Hey
everyone, this is Ryan at Four Wheeling for Less, your local ATV and side-by-side dealership. We specialize in buying, selling, and servicing all major makes and models. In our sales department, we offer financing, warranties, and purchase appraisals. Our service department will keep you up and running for your next adventure, and our parts and accessories department can help you find whatever you're looking for. So whether you're looking to buy, sell, trade, or get service work done, visit our website, or give us a call, or stop by today.
Hi, this is Zach, and welcome to Gingerbread Man Running Company, proudly located in the heart of Indiana on Philadelphia Street since 2009. We offer the top models from the best brands of running and walking shoes. Stop in today for your free gait analysis from our expertly trained staff. We are happy to help solve any foot or shoe issue you may have. Please visit our website for more information. Gingerbread Man Running. Catch us if you can.
This is the voice of the IUP Crimson Hawks, Jack Benedict, inviting you to follow the Hawks home and away on U92.5 FM and at U92Radio.com. Start your Saturday game day with another Indiana County tradition, the Luther Ford High School Coaches Corner Show, every Saturday morning on WDAD AM 1450, 100.3 FM, and on the Trib Live High School Sports Network. Since 1969, Luther Ford's High School Coaches Corner, every Saturday from 8 to 10 on WDAD.
I'm with the voice of the IUP Crimson Hawks, Jack Benedict. And Jack, finally, you will be back in the booth.
Welcome back, everyone. We're at Hawk Talk. Jack Benedict with Coach Paul Tortorella, and we want to thank Coach Jalen Harrison for joining us here today, talking IUP football as the team gets ready for Edinboro. It's a 2 o'clock kickoff this coming Saturday. The thing that impressed me about Edinboro, and we talked a little bit about them, personnel, some of the adversity they've had to overcome, and they're 1-6. They played a heck of a schedule. Shippensburg, Westchester, Cal, Slippery Rock, and Gannon's 500 now. So, along with IUP, that's as tough as anybody.
Well, we were talking today, and I said, just what you said. I said, they've played almost as tough a schedule as we have when you list those teams. And like I told the team today, we've beaten a team that was undefeated, that only has one loss. We've beaten another team that's only got one loss. We've lost to a team that only has one loss, and we lost to a team Saturday that's undefeated. So there's no way anybody in our region has played the schedule that we've played. And really, probably the closest team is Edinboro. But now there are some big games here in the last couple weeks in the region with a lot of these teams. We've played a really front-ended schedule with the top teams that we played, but, we're going to have a tough Edinboro team coming in here that very easily have one win. They could have four. They've lost 3 games by 1 score. Gannon is an over 500 team, potentially will finish that way. And so there's a lot of football left, and we talk about it all the time, and I told the team this today. The season really doesn't get started until November. We talk about the 7th, 8th week of the season. That's really when the season gets started. So, obviously you want to win every game up till then, but there's still a lot of football to be played in the conference and in the region.
Regional rankings come out this week. Is that tomorrow?
I believe they came out today.
Oh, they did? You haven't seen them?
I haven't checked them because right now our main concern is getting our team back on track and getting ready to play Edinboro.
Yeah, because, some fans will say, well, okay, that loss to Cal and no playoffs. It's not going to happen, blah, blah, blah. So if you win the rest of your games and go 8-2, I would hope and I would think the committee would take into account strength of schedule for everybody.
Right.
For everybody.
Right.
But you never know, do you?
No, and that's why, like I told the team today, the only thing we can control is how we practice this week and how we play against Edinboro on Saturday. Nothing else. We have no say in anything else that goes on with the other teams or who we're playing down the road, and that's all we have to worry about.
With Edinboro, are they now? You said about the quarterback situation. They have a young fellow, a freshman, I believe, from Miami, Florida.
Yes, they're playing a big, tall freshman. He's played. He played against Slippery Rock, and he played against Cal, and then he played last week against Gannon. So he's played against some really good teams.
Yeah.
So he's battle tested. He's a freshman. He's got some ability. They do a lot of things offensively that if you're not sharp, they can get some advantages on you. They're very well coached, offensive line, and they're skilled players. So, and then Jake's a defensive guy, so their defense does a lot. They do a lot of things that.
Do they blitz like Cal?
Yeah, they're not quite like Cal. I mean, if I showed you some of the things that Cal did to us, your head would spin. And they take some chances. There was a couple times where, we got a guy running wide open, totally clean, and we just didn't get the throw off, or we got flushed from the pocket and we didn't have time to hit the guy. But that's what their defense is they cause mass confusion for your offense. And other than the first couple series, we handled it really well. The second series, we scored a touchdown. We put together a really good drive. First series was a 3-and-out. The third series, we got hit with a blitz, and Harry got hit and fumbled, and they recovered. But from that point on, we handled their pressure pretty well. We had over 400 yards of offense.
Yeah, exactly. And when you score 34 points against a team that's giving up 7 a game,
right,
you usually win the game.
Right.
But,
and we left one out there with the drop touchdown, and we kicked a field goal when we had a guy running wide open on a corner route that if we had one more second and he didn't get flushed, you might hit him too. So, it's just unfortunate that we lost, but we lost to a good team too. That's if you lose, you don't want to lose a game like that against anybody.
No.
But you got to give Cal credit.
Well, I give them credit too for the another thing we'll bring up. They brought the band. They had 2 bus loads, and they bought nobody. I shouldn't say nobody. I don't see all the teams anymore. But in the concert, it's very rare that they bring their band on an away game. They did that. They had a lot of fans, which is great. We have fans on the road, and so on. I hate to say it, but our band left at halftime. So I'll just say that. I know they had another commitment, but okay. And I know the world is not revolved totally around football, so we'll just go with that.
Yeah, I mean that's not any of our concern.
No, I know you're concerned with what's in between the lines,
right? And we love playing at home, but we're a very good road team.
We are.
I really don't have my thumb on that. Why? But we like playing at home, but we also don't mind playing on the road.
Question about injuries. Last week, any injuries in the game of any consequence?
We've been really fortunate the last 2 or 3 weeks. We have really not lost anybody during the game.
I've had a couple people ask me about Hauser and Stewart.
They're physically, they should be ready. They hadn't practiced a whole lot. If we would have had to play them Saturday, we probably could have. Malik and Justice are banged up a little bit because the last 3 weeks they've carried the load and they're not real big. But we should have 4 running backs that we should be able to play if we need to Saturday.
And other than that, came out of there in pretty good shape, really.
Yeah, we've been very fortunate. Other than losing Dwayne for 1 game at wideout, we've had some injuries on defense, but we've gotten healthy now on defense. Fazell played a little bit Saturday. He had been out for 2 weeks with a shoulder. He came in today and wanted to get back on the kickoff team, so he must be feeling – he asked to do that. He asked Coach Harrison, actually, because he wants to get back on the kickoff team, so he must be feeling better. Secondary-wise, Washington's back. Toller's been out the whole season, so he's going to redshirt. At linebacker, we're pretty healthy, and up front we're healthy. So that's been, a fortunate thing. Injuries other than early, really COVID was more of an issue than actually injuries, with Harry and the coaches. And that's like I told our team, we've had a ton of adversity. We had a coach leave the day before camp started. The first 2 weeks of the season, we had 3 coaches the first week on the sideline for the Kutztown game. We had 3 coaches coaching the whole week in practice. You were there. We were going to ask you to come out and coach a little bit at that point.
Well, I was thinking about it.
Okay, but, we had 3 coaches run the practices for the Shepherd week, and they all came back Friday, and Coach Gregory actually didn't come back until the Saturday morning of the game. So, they've been dealt some curveballs, so to speak. And we just, the one thing I don't want people to think is that even though we lost Saturday, we played pretty well. We played hard. We gave great effort. Our defense played really well in the first half. They didn't play well in the second half. Offensively, for most of the game, we played pretty well. We kind of left a couple points out there. We executed some things in the kicking game, and then we didn't execute the punt. The 2 hardest things, the fake punt and the fake extra point, are probably a lot harder to execute than the punt protection because we do it all the time. And, we haven't had a punt blocked in 4 years here.
I was trying to think of the last time. I couldn't remember.
When we played West Florida, I don't know if you remember in the national semifinals.
Well,
we had a bad snap, and Ruiz tried to run with it, and he could have got the punt off. That's the only kind of hiccup we've had in regards to the punt team in 4 years, really.
Somebody brought to mind, and it went through my mind at the time, and I'm sure it's been brought up, was the 93 national championship game that turned everything around with a 2-touchdown lead. But these things happen.
Yeah, and we've blocked punts. You just haven't done it with 40 seconds to go with no timeouts left.
Yeah.
I mean, that's football. Every play matters. People don't understand. A guy that plays on special teams, he may be playing 25 plays if he plays on all the special teams. So every play matters, whether it's the last play of the game or the first play of the game.
What particular players, if you want to single out anybody or a group that graded well? We know that Harry Woodbury had another great day, or Charles Dwayne Brown.
Well, Q Carter played. All 3 wideouts played really well, and our offensive line played well. I mean, Cal does a ton of blitzing, and it's not very conventional. And after we got used to the speed of the game with their blitzes after the first 2 or 3 series, we played pretty well up front. We lost a battle on 3rd and 1. We didn't make a first down there, but I think that was the play when we faked the punt after that, I believe. So we kind of got it, but we didn't make a 3rd and 1 play. We didn't block it very well. In the last series, the first play, we had a chance to have a 5 or 6 yard game, but we had a guy beat with a one-on-one block. That's football. When you play good people, you're not going to win every one-on-one battle. We had a huge hole on 3rd down. We needed 10 yards, and our back didn't quite see it, or we might have had a chance to make the first down on the last play before the punt got blocked. But that's what happens. I mean, that's every play's not going to go exactly the way you want it. This team seems to play better when their backs are against the wall, like up at Slippery Rock. And we had a player out, a starter that couldn't play, and they kind of rallied around that. And like I said, they've had a lot of things thrown at them, unfortunately, that they can't control. And they've hung in there, and they've we got whipped against Shepherd, who's a really good team with a great quarterback.
Just outlasted Westchester by 7.
And Westchester gave them a great game.
Yeah.
So there's, I think there's probably 3 or 4 teams in the East and 3 or 4 teams in the West that are all really good. When you look at it, and when you bunch 6 or 7 of those teams together, you better play well if you're playing one of those other 6 teams, or and you got to play well for 60 minutes. We've played some great first halves on both sides of the ball. We've played some great second halves, especially offensively. But you got it when you play really good people, like the Slippery Rock game. We played a pretty good 60-minute game. Kutztown, again, that was a battle. We had to win the 4th quarter, and we did, because we were behind going into the 4th quarter against them. Mm-hmm. Shepherd, we had a bad 3rd quarter. I know you can't take that out, but we didn't play bad for 3 quarters against them.
Yeah.
And then Saturday, I'll take what we did the first 50 minutes of the game. I don't really like what we did the last 10 minutes, but, you're playing good teams.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of good, this is senior day coming up this Saturday with Edinboro, and I know it's always tough when you lose seniors.
Sure.
And this group here, with COVID and everything, what a different situation. Maybe reflect about them a little bit.
Well, we have, and I don't want to miss anybody, but we have 4 seniors that 3 of them have been here 5 years, and Malik Anderson's been here 6 years.
6 years he's been here.
Yes. Justice Evans, Malik Anderson, and Dauberman were on the 2017 team, and both Evans and Dauberman played a lot as true freshmen, so they've been here the longest. But we have Castro's been here for 5 years. He's a senior now, a backup defensive back. And then we have 4 or 5. Well, we actually have 5 or 6 transfers that are seniors. Some have been here 2 years. Some have only been here 1 year. Mm-hmm. So, whether they're transfers or they've been here the whole time, they're still our seniors. They're still finishing their career with us. So, it's important that we take this week and honor them. And, no matter what happens from here on out, the rest of this year, it's probably going to be their last game at Miller Stadium. So it's important for them to leave their home stadium the right way.
Sure, on a high note. Well, that'll be 2 o'clock Saturday. We're going to wrap it up with the coach in just a moment. Hawk Talk it is, and we'll be back with the final comments here right after we take a timeout on U92.5 and U92Radio.com.
Kenly Insurance is a family-owned and operated insurance broker located in downtown Indiana at 689 Philadelphia Street.
Hi, my name is Nicole Kenly, a licensed insurance agent with 15 years of experience in the industry. We offer many solutions such as home, auto, renters, life, flood, and many more specialty products.
Hi, my name is Sam Kenly. We are a partner with over 30 A-rated companies such as Progressive, Travelers, Allstate, MetLife, and Nationwide, just to name a few.
Please call 724-216-0972 for your free insurance review.
Hey everyone, this is Ryan at Four Wheeling for Less, your local ATV and side-by-side dealership. We specialize in buying, selling, and servicing all major makes and models. In our sales department, we offer financing, warranties, and purchase appraisals. Our service department will keep you up and running for your next adventure, and our parts and accessories department can help you find whatever you're looking for. So whether you're looking to buy, sell, trade, or get service work done, visit our website, or give us a call, or stop by today.
The Co-op store has the largest selection of IUP gifts and apparel. The Co-op is always there with its convenient location and hours. The Co-op store has been serving IUP and the Indiana community since 1933, and all profits are returned to the students through campus programs and activities. The Co-op has all your campus needs from the dorm to the classroom. Visit us online at www.iupstore.com.
And we're in the last few minutes here. Well, welcome back to Hawk Talk. Jack Benedict here with Coach Paul Tortorella, Coach Jalen Harrison, who joined us just a little while ago. Danielle Pisarczyk, by the way, our studio engineer tonight back at the Renda Broadcast Station. And courtesy coach of CH Fields Craft Kitchens, is gift certificate for you.
Great.
And
appreciate
I know
that.
You'll be stopping by. You bet. Well, so we get ready for Senior Day, for maybe the final home game, probably of this year at Miller Stadium. Two other games to follow with Seton Hill and Westchester. We'll take a look at those regional rankings. Just quickly, they list, 8 teams now? Is that what they do?
I'm not sure, but obviously you want to be in the first 7 because, if it ended today and you're in the first 7, you'd be in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And like I told some of our coaches that haven't been around this, the younger coaches, I brought up scenarios where we were 10-1 and didn't get in, and we had a great team. And I continue to talk about the '99 team that had 3 losses, but one was the Youngstown State, and we got in the last night of the season because they only took 4 teams. And then that team went on as the 4th seed to go beat Slippery Rock, who we lost to, to go on the road to beat Millersville, who we lost to. And we lost in the national semifinals out at Northwest Missouri, who went on to win the national championship. So, that team was 2-3. If you don't count the Youngstown State game, and you remember, we were 2-2. We lost to Slippery Rock at home. We got blown out. We lost a tough game at Millersville, a night game where we played really good on defense and lost, I think, 13-7. And we were sitting and lost to Youngstown State. We were sitting 2-3, or 2-2 because the 1AA games don't count. We end up winning our last 6 games, and I remember it like it was yesterday. That was back when computers, you couldn't stream games, and we needed somebody in it was either it wasn't Grand Valley. It had to be somebody in that league. They were playing Northern Michigan, and Northern Michigan had to upset them, and we were trying to listen to the game on the radio, and it was a night game. We had played Shippensburg that day and beat them, and static was going in and out. With about 6 minutes to go, we couldn't get it. It was done. We couldn't get it anymore.
Isn't it amazing the way technology, look at all this stuff, and we're all over the world right now.
And I think one of our coaches called the press box at Northern Michigan after the game was over to find out, because, it wasn't like it is now. You'd follow it on the computer to find out who won the game. And when we found out that the team that we needed to lose lost, we were like, and we still didn't know we were going to get in. And we came in Sunday morning or afternoon, I can't remember what it was, and there it was. We were 4th, and we were matched up with Slippery Rock, who was who beat us 52-14 at home that year. So you never know.
No, you don't. No, those are exciting times, and I'm sure the last few weeks are going to be exciting too. Hey, good luck against Edinboro. Thank you, Coach. We appreciate it, and of course we'll be back here next week, and we'll give it another go. Okay.
Appreciate it, Jack. Thanks.
You bet. Coach Paul Tortorella. We thank Coach Harrison for dropping by, and for all the fans that stopped by here, and those listening and watching wherever the case may be. We're on from 6 to 7 every Monday night here at the CH Craft Kitchen at Hilton Garden Inn. This is Jack Benedict, and have yourself a Major League night.
You've been listening to